Okay. So the next one question is, I guess this will require some examples. Can you think of a time where you put in the bare minimum effort and following the outcome, you wished you had worked differently? So I don't know, put more of an effort, worked with excellence. And what did you do differently after that experience? Who wants to take this one first?
Should I go first?
Please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, like you have said, I think an example will be the best way to put this. This happened at work. Pitch for this particular kind of, I don't want to use the exact, because people might not understand, but let me see if I can. Okay, we pitch to have a customer, to get a customer on board, a set of customers at once. Let me say, we're looking at a company and we want to bank all their staff at once. And we have this, what do you call them? Copy and paste presentations. That's presentations already prepared to use across those kind of companies. And, you know, we had this fantastic deal. It was a company that had both foreign workers and domestic workers. And what that means for the bank is an opportunity to have both foreign currency and local currency in your bank, you know, which is foreign currency, as we all know, is quite scarce. So we got to this presentation, and as usual, I mean, one of those days that I was, I think, a bit off, I was tired, and I just felt, when I saw it, oh, it's a good company. Oh, we already have a presentation. Let's get it going, and let's just do it. And the presentation was done. We used the normal one we would use for companies that do the presentation. And we lost the pitch on that basis, even though we had been told that we were very highly recognized to get that pitch because we were a bank that had subsidiaries or affiliates across Africa and in some selected locations out of Africa. And that meant a lot to us in the institution. Even before my boss got back to me, I was already very, very depressed that I could miss that. Yes, I was depressed with my line reports who also report to me that how could we have missed that, because it was quite clear inside. If you read the email well, it was there, but I missed it. I was tired. I passed it on and I just told them submit the presentation. And that was a very big deal with us because there were so many other things that happened. But what did it make me do differently next time? Like I said, after some time, you don't beat yourself hard. You just ask yourself, what can you learn from that situation? And what did I learn? One, even if you're tired, very tired, make sure you have, part of your excellent team members that can look at that and say, okay, you know what, I'm tired, but let somebody else check on that. You know, so it doesn't have to reside in you. And that is also part of management anyway. You have to learn to be able to recognize your team members, the ones that are very good with details, the ones that are very good with numbers, just like my brother Koladi had said, and the ones that, you know, you recognize those skills and make sure you get that. So that was the very first thing. Now, the second thing I also did, which is also part of getting to be excellent, or being in a state of excellence, I now stayed around that company. I continued staying around them, making sure, you know, I was visible. I kept talking about what I had as a bank that I could offer. And at the end of the day, in 3 months' time, they called us back. Let's see what you really have to offer. You know, it was based on talking to individuals of, people that we had relationships with. And so the other thing that it also taught me is that, you know, Brother Oshinawa has mentioned it, you don't give up. You still look for other alternatives, and that is what we did. And finally, when we made the presentation the second time, we were able to get the deal. So, in living excellence, you fail, you stumble, you get up, and then you start again. It's not in every time you would win again, But the most important thing is that do not say you have failed because you're trying to get to the excellence. You're trying to get, like I said, it's not perfection. It's more about excellence. And I think that is also what Islam also teaches us in living our lives. So, I mean, that was a very practical example for me that made a difference in how I did things going forward.
So, I mean, the only one I'm going to just add to what Mr. said is that even though you can pick up when you fail at being excellent, sometimes you may not just recover. It's just so that you know. And I give you an example. I worked for a company, and most people in Mica may know, a company that was 14 years was number one. So when you're talking about excellence in product design, I'm sure some of us, I mean, maybe not the millennials here today, but some of us may have used a Nokia 3310. And the only phone everybody ever knew was Nokia at some point in time. Number one for 14 years. I was in the company for 8 years. So I could see it. People used to come beg us to buy products. And at some point, not that we were not just being, that's what also comes with when I said that excellence is not a state. We had gone to the point that we're excellent at what we're doing. Nobody could touch us at that point in time. But some people moved on in terms of excellence, not innovation, because people always confuse it. And there's always this WhatsApp broadcast always going around when at a meeting when the Nokia CEO started crying. Nothing of such existed. But it was just that a lot of people had innovation. We also had innovation. I mean, if you go, if you go to Finland or Palo Alto in the research center, we had phones that you could, in the depth of the water, you could actually call up the phone and it will ring inside water. So innovation was not even the issue. It was execution excellence that was the issue. And after 14 years of being number one, with a valuation of over 32 billion in 2007, something that was not even really, I wouldn't call it brilliant, the iPhone in 2007, no 3G, no apps, nothing, touch screen, and we dismissed it. It was not brilliant, but it was excellent at what it was doing. And we ignored. And that was not even painful for me, but if you bring it to the local context, we saw people using dual SIM phones. At some point, we even had triple SIM phones. And we said, it doesn't matter. We are still number one. And that's the arrogance that comes with being excellent. When you have all A's, or when you are really the best of the best, it comes with some level of arrogance and pride, and we dismissed it. And within a couple of years, the company was sold for $8 billion to Microsoft. Microsoft sold it to HMD Global for $330 million. And the company has struggled to get back. I'm not sure it will ever get back to number one, ever. And I mean it because people have come behind and start focusing on execution excellence. Every phone will have the same kind of camera. We all buy from the same supplier. Samsung supplies all of us with screens. The Nokia phone is made in the same factory, Foxconn factory, as the iPhone. But the iPhone sells with like maybe more. I don't want to review, but same factory, same manufacturing process, same people, but it all boils down to execution excellence. And that is where, and sometimes you may not recover as a person, as an organization, coming back to number one. And on personal note, I've had where I put minimum effort into my exams. I've had to do like a couple of master's programs where I've seen that I've put minimum effort, I've gotten very minimal results. But where I really put everything, my all in all, I'd gotten very good results out of it. So my point is that sometimes you have the opportunity of recovering. Sometimes you may not have the opportunity to recover. people will just have moved on ahead of you. So that's why you need to be very conscious at work, in the profession, in career. Just be very conscious. I've seen people who have been on the same position in their careers for the last 8 years, for the last 10 years. It's just because maybe they're not just conscious of trends, shifts also happening within their space. So execution excellence is something that is now becoming more and more relevant in business today and in careers today. It's not even about the brilliance of it, but it's just about, and one of our coaches used to put it this way: it's as simple as talking in the shower, the shower curtain in the shower, in the tub. That's where execution excellence starts from.
Thank you so much. Could I ask for a definition of execution excellence? Like, how would you define it?
Okay, how would I define it? It's doing what is right at the right time, with the right resources, with the right people on the bus. I make sure every day what we are supposed to do for that day, we do it for that day. I mean, my industry does not even allow you to wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
In digital business, it is all scientific. You wait for tomorrow. Let's say, for example, I'm supposed to put the correct price on a product. When you walk into a shop and you say the wrong price, when you get to the till, you can change the price. Somebody will notice. But in e-commerce, if I put the wrong price, before I wake up in the morning, everybody has bought it. It's already been shipped. So you cannot afford not to execute flawlessly.
Yeah.
You must be very ruthless in the execution. Yeah. And it also comes with having the right people on the bus. The moment I know that I don't have the right person on the bus, I do not put emotions in waiting for the person. Yes, I put you on performance improvement plan, but I do not have the patience. If you're not the right person on the, I can train you. If you have the right attitude, you can be trained.
Yeah.
But you must come with the right attitude in execution.
Thank you. And Mrs. Demoladeni, what does execution excellence mean to you? I'm diverting a bit, but this is a concept I've never heard of, so I just want to know how it's applied different people.
Okay. I think my brother has said it, but let me just put it again in context. Is like he said, doing it at the right time and almost getting it right the first time. That's what I'd like to add, which is where, that additional pressure comes in, because like he said, if you put 50 naira on a product that is supposed to go at 100 naira, you're dead by the next day. So it's also getting it right the first time. So you can imagine there's a lot of quality assurance along some particular jobs. If you need execution excellence badly, you must have somebody else checking against what you have done before you finally say it's open to the market. So that's what I would call execution excellence, getting it right the first time.
Yeah, thank you very much for adding that. It's funny you made the Mr. Oshinowo, you made this point about if you put out the wrong product. I think on 2 occasions my friends have sent me links to products that was being sold for like 35p. One was an air fryer on Amazon, but I think they picked it up very quickly so people couldn't order. So yeah, that's a very true example, and it does happen. It actually does happen. Yeah.